Hey, Circuit Riders, welcome back. It is early in the morning, and we have had a wonderful week here in Yellowstone and the Grand Tetons, but it's time to move on to warmer weather. So we are heading to Nebraska today. We've never been to Nebraska before, and Iowa after that. We're going to collect 2 new states. This is Memorial Day weekend, and we have no reservations for this weekend in Nebraska. I've got 2 county parks or town parks that I've got marked on my map. We're going to go, and hopefully we'll have an open space that we can snag for a night or two. So it's going to be interesting. When I first planned this Nebraska section, I thought, oh, it's going to be, May and it's Nebraska and there's not a lot of RVers there and we shouldn't have any problem. I did not factor in that it was going to be Memorial Day weekend. So we'll see how it goes. Dudes, it's like below 20 degrees overnight. What are you doing? Oh, I don't know how people do that. Bike and tent in this weather. Well, good for them. They'll have a nice Memorial Day. Let's get going. There's a lot of people pulled over here to the side of the road. They've been, there's big crowds trying to get wildlife.
There's 2 bears out there. Looks like a big one and maybe a 1.5, 2.5-year-old cub.
We're going to pull over quick with the RV and see if we can get a shot.
Kind of loping along.
That little cub is kind of running along.
I wonder if it's about to, it's an older cub.
Yeah, it looks like maybe 2 years old.
But yeah, it's kind of gallivanting. Yeah.
Wow, we got rewarded with our last drive out of the Tetons with a sighting of 2 grizzly bears. It looked like a mama and maybe a 2-year-old cub. That cub was having fun romping over those hills. What a special experience. We just entered Nebraska and we've decided to just keep going farther today. We left so early this morning. We got out at 7:15 and we've become pretty good with the very long driving days. Instead of breaking it up halfway, we'd rather get somewhere in the evening so that we have a shorter drive day on the other side. So instead of messing with that county park that I wasn't sure if we were going to be able to get a site, we're just going to go to a Harvest Toast a few more hours down the road. So we're going to end up having an 11-hour drive day. But we're going to get there at 7:15 p.m. because we're going into Central Time, so we're going to lose an hour. So an 11-hour drive, but we'll still get there at dinner time, and it's just a Harvest Host, which will be really easy parking. So I think that'll be good. And then tomorrow, we've only got another 4 to 5 hour drive to Omaha. Do I look like I've been in the truck on an 11-hour drive? I think I do. Plus, it's 70 degrees outside. Love it. Stop for a quick bathroom break. And a half hours. We made it to our Harvest Host. This is really nice back here behind the brewery. They've got like gravel or ash lined spots. They've got about 10 spots back here. We're gonna get set up and then go in and have something to eat. Brewing Company in North Platte, Nebraska might be the best parking area of a harvest host I've ever seen. This was a great stop. Now we're gonna head over to Omaha and hopefully we can get a spot at this first come first serve campground. Let's go.
Nice. You get it.
Oh, we just made it to the gas station on 0 miles. Well, maybe we got lucky, but we are at a first come first serve campground outside of Omaha, Nebraska. And when we pulled up, the camp host said he had 3 sites open, and only because 3 people left early today before they were supposed to. So that seems to always be the way. When I see people on YouTube who just like, they don't make reservations, they just pull up to campgrounds, you know, every night and say, do you have a place for us? Usually it's, well, we've got 1 or 2 sites left, you know, and then they always get in. So I don't know, that's just anecdotal, but it worked for us this time, which is great because we don't usually do this. And so I was a little nervous. With it being Memorial Day weekend, this campground is super full. There's 100 sites here. And I guess 97 of them are full now, 98. So if you are RVing and you've got, you know, your sticker map and you're trying to collect the states, either 50 or 48, whatever you're trying to do, eventually you're going to find yourself in Nebraska. So we have been thinking for the past couple of weeks, what is there to do in Nebraska? What are we gonna, like, we're gonna need to go there, we need to stay 2 nights and do the experience so we can get our sticker, but there's not really anything famous here, or like everybody says, oh, you gotta go to Nebraska to do X. We couldn't think of anything. But what have I told you before on this channel? There is always something to explore no matter where you are. So we're going to find the thing that we can explore. Now we are between Omaha and Lincoln. We're a little closer to Omaha. Lincoln is the state capital. Omaha is a huge Midwestern city, so I'm sure we can find some things to do. So we are going to, let's go to Lincoln first this evening since it's already middle afternoon. And then tomorrow we can spend the whole day in Omaha. We saw this beautiful chapel from the highway as we were coming into Omaha with the RV, so we're going to stop here on our way to Lincoln and check it out. It's on the top of a hill and is mostly made entirely of windows. There's a cloisters here nearby too somewhere, but it seems to be closed right now, but the chapel is open for a little bit longer. So this Holy Family Shrine is a Catholic shrine. In 1993, some individuals felt like God was telling them to build a chapel near the highway where travelers could come and rest. And it took them about 9 years before the project could come to completion. It opened in 2002. It's a lovely, peaceful spot for you to come and contemplate and have a little rest. Wow, what a beautiful view. we're in downtown Lincoln. Again, this is the capital of Nebraska. This Haymarket, historic Haymarket area looks really cool. Downtown Lincoln near the zoo, there are a couple of gardens, the Sunken garden, and then on the other side of the street is the Rose Garden. Lovely evening for a walk. Love to crunch lavender. Smell it. Mmm, delicious.
Welcome to Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom. Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom, brought to you by Mutual of Omaha, people you can count on.
Do you guys remember that show, Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom? If you're a Gen X or a boomer, you might remember watching that in the old days. That's the only association I ever had with Omaha. So we're day out in the city today. We're stopping first at the Joslyn Castle, which is a beautiful Victorian mansion here, built in Omaha by George Joslyn in the late 1800s. I classify this kind of category of house as like early 20th century tycoon that I've never heard of. We've been in so many of these houses before that we're not going to pay to go into the tour today, but it did say that the grounds were open, that the public could just come and walk around the gardens. So we're just going to have a little walk here before we head into the city.
Hello there.
Well, we were just able to stick our heads right in the front hall there and see a couple of the rooms. It reminds me a lot of the Mark Twain house in Connecticut, in Hartford, Connecticut. It looks a lot like that inside.
Smell really nice.
This is a really interesting art installation here in downtown Omaha of this wagon train. And I love how they have the wagons going over this rough, rocky terrain. It reminds me of when we were in Arizona and we were walking on an old wagon path that was now a trail, and they were talking about how uneven and rocky the terrain was, and just all the hardships that these people had to endure going to the west. And we talked about the people who got stuck in Donner Pass, and we've seen the Great Salt Lake Desert, and we've seen so many of these places now in our travels that it really brings these historical things to life. I love this detail of this bedpost sticking out of the wagon, ornately carved wooden heavy bedposts. They were bringing all kinds of furniture with them to set up in their new homes, and I just think that if they had known how hard the journey would have been, they would have lightened their load quite a bit. I can't get over how impressive this installation is. And I think the most striking thing about it is that these statues are almost life-size, a little bit bigger, but when you're standing next to them, it really feels like you're standing next to a person from the past. Hey, we didn't know we were going to get a national park unit today. This is the Lewis and Clark Expedition Trail Visitor Center in Omaha, right next to the Missouri River. So Lewis and Clark and their expedition came up the Missouri River 1804, 1805 and landed here. So this is really fun. We've been learning a lot about Lewis and Clark on this Pacific Northwest trip this year. That's a really nice visitor center, and we saw a 25-minute video about the Lewis and Clark expedition that was nice. Hear this motorcycle? I wonder if Nebraska does not have muffler laws or noise laws here, because I've never heard such obnoxious vehicles as since I got to Nebraska. So we come back downtown to the old market area. It's kind of a larger version of the Haymarket area we saw yesterday in Lincoln. But Omaha is such a bigger city. It's got a lot more going on downtown here. Hollywood Candy right here is a combination candy and vintage antique curio store. That's a really cool walkthrough. Well, we did it. We found some fun things to do in Nebraska and Lincoln and Omaha. We'll see if we can do the same.
Both cool cities.
Yeah, they are. We'll see if we can do the same in Iowa next time, because that's where we're heading next. So thanks for watching. Bye, guys.